Start of game activation is live and ready. We're set.
Cookie, we found your pants.
Well, hello! It's about time. Now, what should I do with this barrel?
I see one like a bee.
Does anyone know how to fix the copier? Also, I'm covered in blood.
Hey, checking. Microphone. Test
If we
one.
could silence all chewing on set, we are picking up some slight chewing. It sounds like a bubble gum or a gummy candy of some sort. Silence all chewing, please.
Hello, I'm on the microphone. Who's too close?
Did anybody else see what happened in the copy machine room? Because there's blood everywhere.
Okay, and could we get a silent trumpet fanfare to the King of Space? There are no sounds in space.
Microphone.
Anton Jones was the greatest detective in the world.
I noticed a gray speck on your jacket, which could only have come from a quarry upstate. Gentlemen, the murderer is the mayor.
But after a terrible accident,
I'm afraid his body won't make it, but we can save his brainwaves.
the greatest mind in the world now resides in a pocket calculator.
Where am I? No!
And with the help of a friend, he'll crack the case and crunch some numbers.
Don't you see, John? There's no way his wife could have killed him.
That's great. But how much should I leave for this tip?
Oh,
We are on.
Cookie, we looked it up, and implausible with an L is not a word.
That's implausible. Look it up a Glenn.
If we could get all the dancers to set, all of the dancers. Thank you. I hope those cupcakes were fair game. They were delicious, the ones sitting in the break room. Did you eat them all? Nice.
This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff. I'm very happy to be here with both of you. I'm on a lot of pain medication at the moment. There's your hardware. You can force another player to answer immediately by hitting your screw button. If they miss it, you win extra bonus dollars. And today's wrong answer of the game is being brought to you by
The San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
Find the wrong answer associated with our sponsor to get yourself some sweet prizes and bonus cash. Okay then, why wait any longer?
Get ready, time for question. One.
First question, bootyful. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%? Players 1 and 2? No. Let me show you something. Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, Mama, gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Say it so.
Coming up next, his acting is alright. So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages, the McCona Industrial Age, the McCona Middle Ages, or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Player 2, watch that clock. Player 1, all wrong. Player 2, the Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
It's time for Brought to you by the letter U, Unibrow.
Just to put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count. Bert, Ernie, the Count. The Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. Players 1 and 2. The Count would be so disappointed. It was begging to be picked. Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows! And yet, none of them have ever blinked. How about Duck, Duck, Swan? Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Siegfried, Benno, Von Rothbart, or Odette? Player 2, you've been screwed. You got 5 seconds. What? No. Player 1 nicely screwed. Time to twist the knife. Player 1. Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college. Let's try the man in the backwards yellow hat. And it's a dis or dat. Player 2. Yikes. Your score could use a hand. Why don't you play this dis or dat and see if it helps? I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber, or an antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. Player 1. Select your answer before player 2, because if you get it right and player 2 gets it wrong, you get that cash. Okay, we're off. Peed in a... Got high on ether. Fed a bugle to an ostrich. What? Forget George. I'm curious how someone could do this badly. I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. That's all we got for round 1. Remember, in round 2, every question is worth double. And keep in mind, the wrong answer of the game is still there for the taking. Okay, how about it? Try this on for size. Dumber and Dumberer 2. So there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Goodness, player 1, you're screwed. You got 5 seconds to give me an answer. Oh, the humanity. Player 2, you handled that screw very well. Let's see if you can make this really hurt. Player 2. Now that's just the dumberest answer I ever heard. Want to see the answer? Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
This one's called Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go. At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. Player 2, getting colder. Player 1, 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know, blah, 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 he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
Next up, Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus?
Kangaroo, peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First spotted in 1879. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus? Players 1 and 2. Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Here's one I like to call Wine or Lose. If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington Rieslings? Player 210's running out. Player 1. This isn't going to go with dinner at all. Player 2. Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. Bucker up for I Want to Lick and Roll All Night. If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep, or about 30 inches deep? Players 1 and 2? Were you thinking of this one? An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Brace yourself for the attack. When you see 2 clues that match, press the X button. 2,000 if you're right, 2,000 gone if you're wrong, and most importantly,
remember the clue.
It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck. with the win! Player one, I'm going to call you the winner here, but know that it has nothing to do with your performance. It's just because I'm required to have someone win, even if they don't break zero. It's also required that I say...